What's the story with you and Red Skull?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I came across this last week, and someone tweeted me this cartoon, this comic, Captain America comic, and I saw this screenshot of Red Skull looking at a computer screen, and it said 10 rules for life. That was one text box. It said order and chaos, and there was a couple of other boxes, and I thought, well, that seems to be making a reference to my work. I mean, 10 rules for life is pretty close to 12 rules for life, and of course, the main themes I discuss are order and chaos. I mean, one book is about order and the other is about chaos, and my first book is about both. So it's a joke, associating my ideas with this arch villain, magic super Nazi Red Skull. And then as I looked into it more deeply, and as people sent me more information, it became clear that at least some of the inspiration for this Red Skull character in this Captain America variant appeared to be targeting, let's say, or satirizing or warning about my ideas. And so I've been playing with that ever since, I suppose, on Twitter. People are producing memes now of Red Skull superimposed upon the picture of him, things I've actually said, instead of the hypothetical things that the people who don't like me wish I said and then purposefully misinterpret. And so that's that. And I'm trying to make it into something playful. It's so absurd. It shocked me to begin with. I couldn't believe it to begin with, especially when I found out who the author of the comic book was. So, he's an intellectual figure among the leftist community, relatively well known, and politically correct. And I didn't expect it. It really threw me for a loop to begin with. I mean, it's really something to see yourself portrayed, let's say, parodied, satirized I've been called a Nazi before. It's not pleasant, but this is one step beyond that. I mean, Nazi apparently isn't enough. I have to be a magical super Nazi. And, by implication, well, really, it's so surreal and absurd that I couldn't believe it to begin with. And then I think what's happening with it is so comical because Red Skull is a demonic character. I mean, he's a satanic character, and in his looks and in his actions, and people are putting my words over his representation, and there's a jarring discontinuity between the visual image and the actual words, especially for the quotes that have been derived from my talks that are in some sense more straightforward and commonsensical, like, clean up your room or don't lie. They're not exactly the sorts of messages that the most malevolent imaginable Nazi supervillain would dream up and promulgate. So I think we're doing a t-shirt based on this image a kid developed in Eastern Europe, which is a variant of the Hail Hydra logo, except it's transformed into a lobster. We're going to market a limited edition poster and then donate all the proceeds to charity. That's today's plan. That should be launched by tomorrow. So that'd be today's Thursday, April. What is it today?
8th.
11th or so? I don't even know what date it is.
April 8th.
It is the 8th. So yeah, I think that'll be up on the 9th or 10th of April. So
well, if
I'm playing with it.
If that's not turning chaos into order, I don't know what is.
Well, it's kind of an interesting challenge, and because I've been so ill, it's been very difficult for me to maintain my sense of humor, which is a terrible loss. It's the best response to that sort of thing is a deft play, rather than outrage, even though it is outrageous. It's outrageous to the point of being surreal, and that's partly why it was so shocking to me. I couldn't believe that could possibly be real, but there it was, And many people who fancy themselves as my enemies have pointed out that, well, I'm probably so much like this Red Skull character that I'm just imagining that it's a parody of my ideas. But I'm afraid that's a pretty weak argument given the, virtual word for word similarity of 10 rules for life and chaos and order. No, that's not a coincidence. Sorry.
We can just add it to the list of weird things that's happened over the last 18 months or so that you've now ended up in a Marvel comic.
Yeah, well, it's like a weird thing seems, I don't know. Yes, my life seems to predictably consist of unpredictably weird things. And I don't really know what to make of that. And neither my family as well, because it tends to throw them for a loop as well. Although my daughter at the moment is having some fun playing with this. She's also healthy enough to have regained her sense of humor. So she's quite enthusiastic about the opportunity that this lays out.
Moonlight shadows, dancing twisted figures, lonely path winding, can't find home. Cracks in reality, mirror reflections, crying echoes come like haunting tones. Synthetic waves, crashing waves, tidal voices harmonize what never was found. Darkness consumes, but we search for dawn in the silence, echoes swirling all around. I see nothing, blind to the light. Fingers clutch at air, holding emptiness. Spinning in circles, can't break free. Haunting melodies, wrapping dreams in still. A flicker of light, a distant fading spark. A whispered promise tearing through the dark. Voices rising, chorus, a fragile, hopeful plea. Can we break the chains, or are we eternally? Whispers in the night, soft and out of sight. Moonlight paints the ground, shadows all around. Stars, they start to glow, secrets we don't know. Winds begin to sing, echoes of a dream. Mystic dreams unwind, lost within our mind. All we feel is a light in the endless night. Mystery